Michael Douglas. Now my character was called The Face. I think I was telling you this story. The character was called The Face. The scene takes place, Michael Douglas is driving down the street and I pretty much jump out and ask him, what you doing in my hood? Now, I'm all in his face because my character was called The Face. I'm at the premiere. My heart is thumping out of my heart. I'm sitting there like, here we go. He drove right past me. I'm devastated. So I'm sitting in that movie like, I cannot believe this. They still kept me in the credit for some reason as guy on the street. You know, you still get residuals for the rest of your life. But that wasn't what I was thinking about. I was thinking about everybody thought I was lying because me and my parents ran our mouths telling us to go check me out as Michael Douglas. I go to Steven Soderbergh. Steven Soderbergh is a huge director. And I say, hey man, why you cut my part out? Just like that at your premiere. This dude looked around like, who's security guy? And you know, I didn't know any better. You know, I still was fresh, still new to the game. And he saw the pain in my eyes. He's like, you know, sorry Vince, we went over budget. You know, we had to, you know, cut Michael his money for $20 million. And I was like, all right, man, I understand. He said, go ahead. I'm working on something. This week you should write numbers down. You wrote down this number. He said, give my secretary a call. I have a part for you in my movie called Ocean's 11. Whoa. Glad yet. So I ended up doing Ocean's 11. I played security guard number 2. It's the part where George Clooney and Matt Damon slides down the elevator shaft, open the door, see the 2 guards in there. So I'm talking. I'm at the premiere again. This guy's filling in. Music is playing over my voice. I said, this man got me again. Got me again. My third movie came was Bringing Down the House with Queen and Steve Martin. I had 3 words. When I got done, I had 33 words. Because I started adding lines. In my mind, I'm thinking about Champs. I'm thinking about GM. I'm thinking about Ocean's 11. I'm thinking about Traffic. And then I started thinking, Vincent, you're doing too much. I had too many lines. So, you know, I don't know if you guys know, but once you film it that first time like that, you have to say it like that, right? So all the lines that I added, I decided to go ahead and do it the way that it was written. And the director, he's real fanboy. All of a sudden I heard, cut! Cut! So he walks up to me. He said, excuse me, Mr. Write Your Own Lines, man. We like the way that you write, bro. So could you do it that way, please? And he did this, and he sashayed away. But every line that I said, they kept in the movie. So sometimes, you know, I tell people all the time, sometimes you just gotta take a chance. I remember doing the show The Wire, and I loved The Wire. It was my very first time, you know, I was my first time involved. I was there to do a play. And I kept telling my friends that I'm gonna go try to audition and get on The Wire. 3 different people, 3 different locations and times. All 3 told me not go in that woman's room, into her office because she's meaning the casting director. And I'm like, why do I keep saying this? You know, I ain't telling nobody about it, you know, I just said, I'm gonna go see if I can get on the show. I go anyways. Put a package together. I go in there and I introduce myself to the secretary. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll go tell her. Now, when she said I'm going to tell her, she's talking about the casting director. I say she was about right there where that black chair is. All of a sudden I heard, I'm gonna keep up. Who he is, he don't stop him up. And always about and calling. Secretary comes back up and said, I guess you heard that. I said, yeah, she's right there. How did you not hear that? She's right there. I was like, you know, sorry I came in unannounced, you know, my apologies. I left. But you know what I left? I left that package there. Hour later, that same lady who cussed me out called me and said, I want you to come and audition. I go in there and she apologized. And the reason she said she's like that because so many people come in and say that there's something that they're really not. They're not prepared. They're not serious about what they're supposed to be doing. She let me audition. She said, I'm gonna bring you back for the call back. I go back for the call back. And this time I'm like 34. Everybody in there like in their 60s and 70s. I'm like, why she got me do this back then? Okay. So my part on there was a pastor that was doing money laundering with drug dealers in my church. They only looked at it as it could be an older pastor. They didn't think it would be a president. Long story short, I got the call. But if I would have listened to those three people, those three different locations, I would have never got an opportunity to show that I could. And I will admit that when I got the call to come in and audition, I cried. I cried because it's like, I started thinking about, sometimes you just gotta step out on faith. You gotta take a chance. Only thing they can tell you is get the F out. But you need that package. So when that package, when you come to faith, you need them prayers. And sooner or later, God handle it. So I'm honored to be in a position to tell these stories because they're real stories. And I don't know, I've spoken to some of you guys, and I always say, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. I ain't gonna BS you on nothing. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Anything you have a question about, I'm gonna tell you the truth. And I think that's what's wrong with a lot of people nowadays. They're too worried about, well, if I say this, then I'm gonna get canceled. Well, okay. One person ain't gonna follow you on Facebook no more? People rather for you to be honest than to sugarcoat and BS. I tell people all the time, I've done a lot. I'm not where I want to be, but I ain't where I used to be. And I'm glad I'm in a position for people to ask me questions on how did I go about doing this. One thing, the things that I pray the most about is mental, psychological, emotional that comes with being in this industry, not just as an actor and actress, but figuring out how you're gonna survive or how you're gonna pay that bill or how you're gonna do this. People always post good stuff on social media, but you don't post the stuff when you see people and they're crying and wondering how I'm gonna survive, or how, I'm gonna pay this bill and pay that. So that's the most important thing. Getting a job, okay, yeah, that's hard because if you don't have tough skin, you get way more no's than yeses. So if you don't have tough skin, I would say this industry is for you. Yeah, I'm open to those questions. We was the dancers. We wasn't nothing else but dancers. Definitely wasn't making no money. It was.
Now you mentioned that dancing was something big. Maybe something you learned from your parents. That's something like your blood dancing.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I'm the third person, right? I'm gonna tell you a story, and I always gotta tell you a story. So, dancing, what happened when I was in 7th grade? Tisha Adams, if you listen, it's your fault. Tisha Adams, she's like, come on, dance with me. We had to dance, 7th grade dance. And I was like, I don't know how to dance. And she said, come on, boy, come on out here. And she pushed me out on the dance floor, and I really can't dance. And she tells me to my face, you can't dance. She pushes me and walks off the dance floor. I go home that night and I ask my mom to teach me how to dance. She taught me a couple of moves, and you used to always have family reunions. And I entered the dance contest. Everybody like, what are you going to enter the dance contest? Because for some reason I just used to do the robot, the mechanical. They used to call me the mechanical man. And when I tell you I get out there and I was prepping and all types of stuff, and people was impressed, And my family was impressed, and then I met, my boy at that time. Like I said, I'm 6'4", he was 6'5", and we just came together. We called night and day, and we would practice in my parents' driveway. And that's all I was known for, was dancing and playing basketball, and sometimes dancing while playing basketball. Because I like to hear that cheer from the audience. I would dunk and I'd come down, start doing the cabbage patch, and people would just go nuts. And I love it. And actually, my first time on TV was on a show called Jenny Jones. Jenny Jones. I don't know, Rick Lake, Jerry Springer, all those people back in that day. And the topic was, I'm a player and she knows it. And Jenny Jones was like, well, how do you be picking up all these women? I said, I just be getting out there, dancing and percolating and all type of stuff. And she's like, could you do some dance for us? And I did some dances on Jenny Jones. To this day, I just like, oh my God. And I remember everywhere I went, Jenny Jones was in that house. Jenny Jones was in that house. And that was the first time I was ever known to be something like that. So, but dancing, yeah, I love it.
So you never went to classes like choreographer, professional. You guys learned on your own?
We learned on our own. We used to watch MC Hammer, Big Daddy Kane, Scooter Scrap Lover, and I was doing a play with Big Daddy Kane. So I used to always, the New Jack City play. I would tell Big Daddy Kane, yeah, me and my boys, we could have destroyed y'all back in the day. Heavy D and the Boys. Like I said, I remember laying on my parents' bed, and MTV was on. And my dad woke me up and said, hey man, you might want to check this guy out. I woke up and I'm looking, it was MC Hammer. And I was like, oh my God. I fell in love with MC Hammer that day. And we just used to mimic all the different dances and put our own twist on it. And it always looked different. It kind of looked better because we were so tall. So, I never went to those classes. I never even taken to acting classes. I started off, like I said, doing theater. You can do theater, you can touch that stage, you can do anything. Because as soon as you touch that stage, it's straight up action. There's no claim. If you mess up, you better not play it off. Because, we're just supposed to be like, oh, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we messed up. No, you better keep it going. And that's, it's kind of like when people say throwing out in the water type thing. So that's how it was.
Do you still do that sometimes? Or I do some dancing once in a while, or that's
I might butterfly here and there. As you get older, that Charlie boy, that gout kick in. You're like, oh Lord! So, go ahead.
What would you say is like the through line or the commonality that's helped you be successful throughout life? Because I think there's a connection between your success and your acting and your sales. Sales is a lot about relationships, connecting.
I used to call myself the Black Al Bundy, man. And this was this was before acting. I used to love Al Bundy. And I would love connecting, the socks, the shoes, the shirt, and all that stuff. But it was always natural. It wasn't I'm trying to get something back. Like when I go in the store now, I don't want to feel like somebody's trying to get something from me. First of all, I like people to speak. Don't speak, I'm out of here. Because it's like you go somewhere else, somebody speak to you, and the price might be a little higher, but it's all about that presentation. So and also for me, I always keep in mind my best is yet to come. In anything that I do, the best is yet to come. Because, I told somebody else this, I just don't want to be known as Oscar from the Walking Dead. I want to win an Oscar someday. Not because of, hey, look at me type of thing, but if I can do it too. I want to be able to inspire and, teach and preach to people. If you have a love and a passion for something, you stick with them. Nowadays, kids want stuff like this. Social media and the internet is the best and worst thing ever made. Growing up, you had to work for your stuff. You want to go somewhere, you got some chores to do. You know, it's not something that's just guilt. Yeah, everything is handed to me. You know, even when I first started acting, you had to mail stuff. You know, all types of stuff. You know, I mean, you can email it, but it's like you gotta find the email. But I like to be hands-on, face-to-face with people. And that might be why I like theater so much. You know, I mean, of course, TV and movies pay more, but theater, you get that feel right there. You made somebody mad, you made somebody cry, you made somebody happy. So it's just being able to motivate people like that.
What's your favorite genre of TV show or movie, like, just for you, like, when you're watching?
Whoever hired. You hired? Okay. This ain't nothing weird. They extravagance. But growing up, I used to have all horror posters in my house, in my room. I had the stand-up Freddy Krueger. I mean, the stand-up.
Oh.
I had Jason. I had Mike. Even though I was an athlete and loved, you know, basketball and rap, I never had any of that stuff in there. I had Chucky. I had everything in there. And I remember my parents asking me, is it something you want to talk to us about? Like, what do you mean? It's like your room. What is going on? What is all of this in your room? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, they're like, okay. But I'm probably for I mean, right now, I've done a lot of work. I think it's because of my size and my voice. Got be quiet in there, I'm talking. I'm just size and my voice and whatnot. But my personality is more, you know what I mean? So I would give up acting. I would give up acting today to become a travel show. I think I'm a combination of like Terry Crews and Michael Strahan. You know, big guys with big personalities. And I actually used to be Terry Crews' personal stand-in on Everybody Hates Chris.
Wow.
And that's why I ended up getting 7 different, I played 7 different characters on Everybody Hates Chris. But I was, you all right? You just come in and talk, huh? All right then. Yeah. So I had played 7 different characters on Everybody Hates Chris. And I was probably the only stand-in that had a stand-in. Because I was like, I want these people to know I really do act. So I would tell the other stand-in, does everybody know what the stand-in is?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would tell the other stand-ins, we're gonna do these lines as if we're Terry Crews, Tashina Arnold, you know, Tyler Williams. Because every week we had a different director. And when we start doing the lines, guess what? We get calls from other directors. For those same directors, we go to the other shows. Is Vincent available for site this week? Yeah. You know, is such available? Yeah. So, you know, if they just think you're a stand-in, that's how they gonna treat you. They think you're just an extra, and that's how they gonna treat you. I'm not saying be annoying, you know, but just show that you can do way more than what you're hired for. And I remember the last year, Everybody Hates Chris, Terry and his wife used to come to my plays. And I remember Terry Crews. Terry was telling me, say, hey man, you know, if you come back next year, I don't want you to come back as my stand-in, because you're too talented to do that. And I heard him, I listened, I'm like, yeah, I understand, you know, stand-up games feel great. You know, that's what I got. But we didn't come back that next year. But again, I was the only stand-in that had a stand-in, because I wasn't just depending on Everybody Hates Chris to help me get to where I wanted to go to. I just wanted them to let you know I'm not doing anything today, so I can be Terry stand-in. Yeah.
How was it playing The Walking Dead? Did you ever play a zombie?
No. You play a zombie, it's just pretty much.
Because there was a lot of makeup, a lot of hours putting on that makeup.
I don't know.
I don't know. It was in Georgia, right?
Yeah, I had to speak.
Yeah.
But I would tell you this with the stand-ins, that they did have to take classes. They had to take a 4-hour class where they had to learn how to walk, not make the noise.
Just the walking.
Just the walk. And I remember one time this guy, now it's hot.
Oh, wow.
It's hot. You're there super early, getting ready. So if you're not prepared to do that, stay home. And I remember this one guy, and we were outside. And he was laying on the seat, man. And I just kept hearing, and I'm looking down at him, I'm like, hey man, you gotta be quiet. And he's like, no, I don't like this. Ants was biting him, the sun was on him, he was itching, all types of stuff. So it was about to be lunch. He never did come back. So a lot of times people say you want to do something until it's time to do something. Just like it's like investors. Hey man, I got this check for you. Okay, we got to give it to you. I mean, it ain't investors until it's time to hand that check over. So I mean, sometimes yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough all the way around. And you don't want to be that person that get on people's nerves. If you're there 12, 14, 15 hours a day, you want to be cool with the people that you know. You don't want to be that person like, oh God, here he goes. And it's tough.
So I like when you said, develop that tough skin. My father was actually, his nickname as a boxer was tough skin.
Yeah.
So now I have a different spin on that word.
Yeah.
Develop that tough skin.
You have to have tough skin. You have to have tough skin. You got to have some kind of belief. I remember, I got a story. I tell you why I got a story. I remember, true story, doing voiceovers. I would always have to drive about an hour to get to my rep's office to do voiceovers. I was probably on my 60th audition. And that day, I was tired. Got to drive for an hour. Then you got to sit there another hour for them to bring you in. That day, I said, forget this. I'm tired of this mess. I'm not booking anything anyways. I'm just wasting gas and it's bringing me down. So I got to texting or emailing my agent at that time, my manager at that time, letting her know I didn't want to do this anymore. Okay. Before I could push send, they called me back to the audition. Okay. I turned my phone on. Went back there and did the audition. I turned my phone back on. Turned the phone on, and I got a message from her. And automatically, I got scared. Like, wait a minute, I didn't push send. Why is she calling me? And she said, I called her back. I said, hey, what's going on? And she said, hey, I was just calling to let you know that you booked your first voiceover. And I'm sitting there like, what? It's not on our time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whoever believe in what, it's not our side on our time, it's on his time. And the thing about it, the voiceover that I booked was Donnie McClurkin's gospel book. So I said, oh my God, I booked the voiceover. And it's some deal with Christianity. I hear you, Lord. From that day, I never said I'm quitting anything. But it kind of brought me down.
So I heard something. So when I was watching a YouTube short, I learned something about like a season 4 one. Does that exist?
Season 4? Well, where you been? They on season 10, 12. Well, 4 spinoffs.
Yes.
Yeah, you behind, man. You just catching up to do. Yeah, they
Does
is.
this lasted?
Huh?
How long has this lasted?
It's lived beyond the comics, that's for
Oh,
sure.
yeah. They come here. They got 3 or 4 different shows now, so they're past season 4.
I'll just say, what's like your biggest lesson that you learned in one of your biggest setbacks with
Just keep going. Keep going. I feel if I stop, then I might let somebody down that I don't even know. People that you don't know support you more than the people that you do know, which is kind of sad. And I'm from a little town called Dayton, Ohio. And I just recently spoke to a young lady that's doing a play there. Now I know everybody. And the first thing she said is, as humble as you are, why is this the first time you're doing a play in Dayton? I said, you gotta actually date that. Because I even like the restaurants, I repost, I talk about them. You know, when I go home, I go and do videos at different restaurants that I enjoy, all types of stuff. And some people today say, I didn't even know that place was there. You've been here your whole life. You didn't go and support this man who's making sandwiches or this barbecue place, Oscar, picnic barbecue. So how do I know about these places? I've been in California for 26 years. So for me, it's just being able to support, you know, being able to, you know, people are like, I don't want to be a role model. Well, I do. You know, like I said, we're about the whole, some of you guys weren't in here. We talk about some of the videos that was cussing. I don't even cuss in real life. But if they ask me to do it, to some extent, I do it. As long as it ain't nothing crazy, because like I said, I got 14 grandkids that's watching everything I do. And before I'm a positive role model for people that I know, I gotta do that for them. And for my parents, Eddie and Virginia Ward, who to this day, I won't even have a drink in front of my parents. Because I respect them. I'm not saying anything's wrong with drinking, you know. But to this day, you know, I respect them and love them so much. And the reason why I can't quit because I'm trying to be in a position that I'll be able to take care of them and be in a position to take care of, leave a legacy for these 14 grandkids. So it's not about me. Your gift is not you. Your gift is for others.
Right.
So, yeah.
What would your, I guess, funnest role that you feel like, dang, like out of all of this, you probably was like it. Because it's like, now I had a very common.
Anybody that hired me, anybody that hired me. I actually like, once again, I have fun of everybody. It's every day just laughing with all of them. But I think I like Knight Rider.
Oh, Knight Rider?
Yeah, they had the new Knight Rider for a quick minute. You know, they had 4 episodes. And then it went on. I was recording episode. And it's because I had a stand-in, I had a stunt man, and I had a body double. Oh. So it was cool to see 3 people playing me, and one of the dudes had to cut his hair off. I was like, I'm making him cut his hair. He got nice hair. Well, he got hired to do this, and yeah, in Ocean's 11. Now, the reason why I say Ocean's 11 because every day I play basketball with Brad Pitt, Don Cheadle, and these guys can play, right?
Brad Pitt can play basketball?
Except for Brad Pitt.
Oh, okay.
And Don Cheadle. And Don Cheadle had a star role in the next movie playing a basketball star. I'm like, this dude was horrible. But I had a 5-day contract, right? My last day, I told George Clooney, because I was their competition.
Wow.
My last day, I told George Clooney, I said, George, you know today my last day. He said, don't worry about it, Vince, I'll take care of it.
Wow.
What? You take care of it? What's the name? He said, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it. All of a sudden, somebody comes to my dressing room with a new contract for an extra 5 days.
Wow.
Just to play basketball.
Wow.
Just to play ball. I go every day. Got my trailer. Mr. Ward, they're ready. Go play ball with them. Go home. And I remember another time, it was lunch. No. Another story. So George Clooney's shoe came untied while we was playing basketball. You should have saw this PA run out there to tie his shoe. George Clooney said, hey, I can tie my own shoe. But if he was that type of guy, he would be like, yeah, double lock that so we're not going to lose. Another thing with George Clooney, we're having lunch. And it was, you know, it's all A-listers, so you know the lunch is going to be fire.
Yeah.
Breakfast, lunch, and
Very good.
yes. So that day we had lobster tail, right? And me and George were talking, and the guy gave me this gives me this little green lobster. George Clooney's is like this. Oh, George looked at his, looked at mine, and looked at the guy's like, you see how big this guy is? Why would you give him such a small lobster? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Clooney. I'm sorry, Mr. Clooney. He didn't apologize to me not one time. But George Clooney spoke up for him.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And it's just like on The Walking Dead. One day, I'm sitting in hair and makeup, I'm talking to somebody, and I see a new script. And I'm like, I'm going, first thing you do, you look for your name.
Yeah.
I get to the last page, it says Oscar Dollars.
Oh.
I said, slam that script down. Not even 2 minutes later, Rick comes in, Andrew Lincoln comes in, and he says, Vince, no, I hear you're not gonna be with us much longer. And I was like, yeah, I just found out. He was like, what? You're like, he snapped out of the old sadness thing. He said, what do you mean? I said, I just saw it, and I pointed at the script. He said, nobody told you anything? I was like, no. He said, I'll be back. Before I knew it, all these producers and directors was coming in. Wow. And I would respect that man to this very day. Because that's something that I would do. You know what I mean? What George Clooney would do. That's the position that I want to be in. You know, it's all about being on it's all about being on series record from season 1 to season 20. You know, it's not about just, hey, I was on The Walking Dead. You know, no, it's not about that. It's about long, you know, just being around for a long time. And that's why I started creating my own stuff. You know, like you see the pictures of Devereaux that's on my tape. Lionsgate did the distribution for it. And Tony Todd played my dad, Candyman. May you rest in peace. Because I got tired of getting killed off. My thing, if Jason and Michael and Saul come back, do you think I'm gonna create a character that's gonna die in the first movie? No.
Like Straight Seven, just for Straight Seven, kill him.
Yeah. You know, look at Saul. This guy, he ain't even in the movie all the time. How many times my wife is in love with Michael Myers? I gotta compete with him all the time. And I'm like, you know, the last time I was like, you know, he dead this time, right? He didn't went in the tree thing to get all crunched up. And he told me coming back again. How? If he can keep coming back, Devereaux will keep coming back. So sometimes you gotta create your own path, you know, and be happy. So, yeah.
What are some of the major moving parts of getting your idea to distribution and all that stuff? What are some of the major parts you gotta get?
Well, the first one, you know somebody. You gotta be able to trust them. Yeah, even though these people I was working with can't help me get Devereaux out in the distribution and the money, but I still didn't feel like I got what I really truly wanted. I didn't even see the movie until it came out on the movie theater. So I would suggest that you be a part of everything going on. Make sure that contract is correct. You know, I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Because you don't want nobody to take your idea or think, you know, when you try to do it again, that they're going to be the ones to do it again. I appreciate y'all getting the money for it, you know, and help me get on Lionsgate with Lionsgate. But in the same breath, you do know kind of be dirty. So, you know, you got to make sure that stuff, like, you know, Mr. Moss was saying, has a attorney coming. You know, I want to talk to the attorney. So, you know, you got to make sure everything is correct. And, like, again, it's about pretty much knowing somebody. I have worked with these guys on other movies, but just as an actor. And then when they saw how my character looked, they was like, oh, this could be great. And their eyes lit up. Yeah, they lit up for the moment themselves.
So my question to you, you mentioned a lot of something. Is there something, an idea that you have that is waiting to be birthed?
Yeah, the travel shows. My travel shows right before the pandemic. I had met with A. Smith Productions and the Travel Network about my travel idea. It's called convention. What people don't realize is 15,000 different conventions in the world, from hair, makeup, cars, sex, flowers, Comic-Cons, you know, it's all kind of different conventions. And not only did I pitch my show, but I pitched myself over their shows. They was like, we left. Pandemic. My connections that hooked up everything didn't come back to those places. So, but you know, in due time, I'm patient. I know it happened. You know, I always say, man, like 15, 20 years ago, I probably, the lessons that I wanted to break for, I probably would have messed them up.
Right.
But now where I'm at in life, as a man, I know I can handle it. But one of the things I can always pray for is just let me handle the success correctly. You know, don't let me go out here, because a lot of people mess up drugs, you know, alcohol and women and men and all types of craziness. And that's what happens. You like, dang, where did he go? Oh, he got strung out. You know, I know I can handle whatever comes with territory. I'm happy to live cheating. I got them 14 grandkids. I'm trying to be an inspiration. My last name was Ward. I'm not going to embarrass what she had. I have, you know, and my wife. That's it.
Yeah, you are also a writer. And when did you start doing your writing? That inspires you? And did it turn into your production, your work?
Well, the word writer, even though I put writer, it's real writers. I write stuff that people just seem to like. Writers write stuff that they can't make sure everything is correct. You know, I might write something, have one of my writer friends look at it, just to make sure, you know, everything is good. I started doing that because as a travel, for example, as a travel show host, you never see anybody look like me as a travel show. You don't. It's always an older white guy or an older white woman. You really never see any black travel show. The stepdad. I wrote that because I used to like the movie The Stepfather. So I'm like, all right, let me put my own spin on how it would go down in my neighborhood. You know, so that's why I created The Stepdad. Devereaux. There was only one black killer, and that was Candy. So, you know, Candyman, Candyman was gone for a while, and he finally came back, and still didn't use Tony Tower, but 2 minutes into the movie, which was crazy. So it's just all about, you know, doing stuff, writing stuff that is designed for something that I would like, that I can see myself taking it serious.
I can see that you are a big having kids or grandkids walking.
I think my two older grandkids, two older granddaughters. We started writing a book together. Now they ain't got it's sports. They got time for pawpaw. You listen, you got time for pawpaw. So, but those are only two. I think some of the younger ones are playing sports, you know, basketball, whatnot. Acting. One of the older granddaughters, she said she wanted to be a screen queen. I said, what is that? When they be yelling at people at the haunted houses. I'm like, that's not a career or a job. I'm talking about something you can live on. So, but yeah.
Nobody knowing you a robot?
Nah, they ain't doing the Cannibal Man.
Oh.
No, nobody. They don't like me.
Sometimes it skips a generation.
Then it skips a few. But like I was telling the young lady, she was asking about her son breaking the act, and I said, well, first of all, you gotta make sure that's what he wants to do. That's not what you want. And you gotta ask yourself, does the kid listen? Because they don't listen or they're acting shy, casting director ain't gonna mess with them. Like, all right, get him out of here. No, that's not what it is. And are they gonna be able to handle? No. It's hard handling no. You studying all these lines for an audition, you don't get nothing. Not even a Nothing. It's tough. It's tough on anybody, you know. So they asked me, I was like, look, this is all I know about it. And I wish people stop asking me about modeling and all that stuff. I'm like, why are you asking me that? Or singing. I'm like, that's not what I do. I don't know anything about it. So you got 2 things.
The modeling got you, right? The modeling got you.
I have done fashion shows before. I like to strut. You know, that's about it.
So, you know, told the story before about how someone said to you, you know, as humble as you are, right? Do you consider yourself as humble as? Because I'm looking and I'm listening to you, and I agree, you know, with that person said.
Extremely.
You seem like a very humble person. So my question is, like, is that easy in Hollywood? Do you see a lot of your members and peers that maybe start off humble and then maybe end up not so humble after?
I really don't hate with people. I think if you surround yourself with different things that we all see on TV every day, you know, sometimes your past catch up with you. You know, I don't think my past ever catch up with me because I haven't done anything. You know, so I don't really hang with stars and celebrities and all that. We might see each other and speak or whatnot. And just respect. I know I've been asked, how did you feel when you started working on The Walking Dead with Rick and Norman and all that? I was like, well, how was I supposed to be? First of all, I didn't know that. 1, 2, I'm a professional actor too. They just the stars on the show. You know, it's just like, you no. Now, I saw Michael Jackson before. I was like, oh man, that's Michael Jackson. That's about it. But if somebody I'm working with every day, it's just like when everybody go to work, are you really friends with your coworkers like that? Or are you just really working together? Some you might find one who's cool, but no, you just treat everybody the same. You like Robbie Reed. Anybody ever tell you that? Ma'am, you know who Robbie Reed is? He's a big time casting director in LA. Your eyes and facial expressions, and I'm like, no, Robbie Reed. Let me watch what I say. But no, that's just what you say.
So what draws you more to the art? Different with why is it happening?
Walking. That's what this is because of walking in. A lot of times we're like, oh, let's get him. He's really walking in. Okay. You say it's not because that's what I want to do. My personality is more which I see right now.
The Deborah was like a bit more for
Oh, that's definitely. Definitely.
Like, is there a tie to that? Like, all the people like that?
I don't think it's a tie to it. I just think I just got tired of getting killed off. So let me do something that I can kill some people off.
In The Walking Dead, of course, everybody had either their gun, their knife, you know, the other guy, his stick. You know, Morgan, I love that. You had your axe. Was these things that you guys can pick off, like, okay, I want my weapon to be like this?
I'm
or
gonna stop
just,
you right there.
Okay.
I didn't have nothing but feet running. When they let me out of the prison to go to Woodbury, I was like, I don't have no weapon. And they was like, oh yeah, you're right. Then they gave me too many and I couldn't even run with them. I had a shotgun, I had everything. I had a butter knife, I had everything. I'm like, I can't run with all this stuff. They was like, okay. And they took some of the stuff away. But again, you just see outrunning people. That was it.
I just want to say thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
Hey, I always know how to speak from the heart. I don't know how to do the Hollywood talk, you know, the political talk. I just speak from the heart. I don't know how to do anything else but that. And I tell them, I'll say, if somebody asks me a question, you can do that. Might not be what you want to hear, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Think that this is something easy. You gotta have patience. And grow. That's it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't even think we went live one time.
You did not. Go
Huh?
on. I thought you were live.
Hey, the next one.
We got a next
But make sure I get a copy. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.